Good morning, great people. My name is Tiana Crooms, and I am the first principal of Herman J. Russell West End Academy, Intervention and Signature Programming. So all of us utilized the Universal Screener map because we needed to assess where our students are. Where are they right now? We do understand that there were learning gaps during the pandemic. The goal is how can we close those gaps, and how can we continue to move forward with that level of proficiency and above? So with that, just as my colleague stated, we do academic intervention blocks, not just for specific students in the school, because we know the need, our entire school needs that academic intervention block. So during the first part of the day, we utilize adaptive curriculum, meaning as if that it meets the students where they are in an effort to grow. And with that support, along with personalized instruction and how we infuse it in our classroom, it assists. On Wednesdays, it's our SEL day. We know that social emotional learning is important. We still work with our mentors, the students' mentors from the HBCUs and also community partners to be able to support in that aspect. We do understand that they dealt with trauma during the pandemic. What can we do to better support the need of the student when they come back into the classroom and get their mindset and ready for learning? So we have a lot of pockets, and everybody have their own nuances in what they do with their school. But the goal is to assess the students where they are, and then create a strategy on how can we close those blocks of learning.
Absolutely. Great. In such intense times. So we were going to come back and do another round of questions, but first do a video about the renaming of Brown Middle School to the Herman J. Russell West End. And so I think we're ready to show that video, and then we'll come back for another round of questions.
I am H.J. Russell West End Academy.
Herman J. Russell. You can't say Herman J. Russell without knowing there's history in Atlanta. He is history of architecture in Atlanta. And so to be part of that, we are historians. To be part of that during the centennial year for Herman J. Russell, and all of that for our school, it's 100 years this year. It just means we're part of something big.
And I'm so excited today because our first day back with our teachers, we're off with a bang. Connecting the legacy with the Herman J. Russell. We're at the Rice Center, Russell Innovation Center of Entrepreneurship, and we're starting off strong by meeting the family of the Russell family, getting a tour of the building, and most importantly, remembering our why and connecting the legacy. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to embrace our students when they come through the door with a new name, a new concept, and even just understanding that we're here for them. Welcome back.
I guess about a year ago, we went through the process of engaging the community to have the conversation about renaming Brown Middle School. This was important because we needed the community and staff and teachers and students and parents to be involved in the conversation, to understand what the name meant of the current school, who the school was named after, and to have a conversation about whether or not we thought in these days and times that was the right name for the school. I'm glad that we had the community conversation and that everyone came along and decided that it was indeed time to change the name of the school. And then we got into the fun process of who the school should be named after. And it was unanimous that the school should be named after Herman J. Russell.
And so I'm just I really am. I'm so excited about the possibilities for our students coming back. I don't want anybody to relax into any old ways. Not that we had a bad environment. We were great then, but I just want us to be excellent as he was in business and for his family and for the community. That's what I want us to be for our students.
It's really well suited and fitting, I believe, because I'm sure that HJ, we called our father HJ, would be extremely excited about this. It's the perfect honor for him and because it really aligns well with his belief in education and the potential of every child.
Or how about
you,
the
Robert.
Herman J. Russell?
Russell, Herman J. Russell Weston Academy.
Ooh, it
I
sounds
just have
good.
to say it over and over again. You know, I know it's a little long name, but yet and still, it's powerful. With that being said, one of the great things that I like about the Washington Cluster Principle is our sense of collaboration and also trying to create a roadmap of success from pre-K through 12th grade. What would this look like in elementary, middle, and then also transition to high school, to college and career? So with that being said, our focus is on computer science and coding, as well as with ag STEM. So this year we implemented in our core content classes, we have math, science, English, social studies, and everyday students. Every student in an entire building will be taking computer science coding. Also with an accent on ag STEM through our science classes too as well. Just as with my colleagues too as well, we have a STEM support specialist. We've been working with some of our community partners, especially with Georgia DOE, Brian Cox, who is the author of the Computer Science Standards in Middle School, and also with Georgia Tech Seismic and also Georgia Tech Programming Department. Why am I sharing this with you? Because of the fact that when our students leave Herman J. Russell Weston Academy and they transition to high school at Booker T. Washington High School, every student, when they leave at the 8th grade, will have an opportunity to receive a high school credit in computer science coding.
Wow.
Just imagine coupling that with ag STEM and computer science coding is only befitting to make sure that it makes sense. So starting from pre-K, when they're learning Scratch, when they're learning how to build websites, when they're learning and getting exposed to certain things, that we're diving a little bit more into it with AI, with artificial intelligence. What is this going to look like as we move forward when we do research data and PBL projects with agricultural technology? So I'm very excited about it, and we are in the pipeline, so we will be the first cluster in Atlanta Public School System receiving our STEM certification as a whole.
That's right.
Well, and I know, and that's very exciting. And you want to tell us recently what happened there, so folks know what the special event was and the naming of the school.
Yes, what a momentous occasion it was. So on Wednesday, we are official, right? I remember in December 2020 during the pandemic, with the collective vote of the board members as well as the committee for the renaming of Joseph E. Brown Middle School. Building on a legacy, and we talk about legacy, we know that our students come from Emmanuel Jones. They come from Tuskegee Global Airman Academy. They come from Michael Hollis, and then they transition to Booker T. Washington. And how befitting it is to actually have someone or something that students can look up for, a living legacy with the Russell family. They can see it, they can feel it, and they know that the possibilities are endless. So what's in the name is so serious, it's so powerful, and it resonates throughout the Washington Cluster community.
Great.
I can remember on August 4th, the day of open house, and I believe we had like the most. Parents were excited to bring the kids back. The students were excited. The faculty and staff were excited because we know that school is where they belong, right? We know that a sense of belonging was missing. We know that students were hiding behind a screen, and we couldn't determine whether or not if they truly understood the standard or the lesson that was being delivered by looking at their faces or asking questions. So that was a hindrance for us. So bringing them back into the building, it was like therapy. And it wasn't just therapy for the students, right, with social emotional learning, but it was for the adults too, because we do forget about, in regards to the teachers. They needed to see the students. They needed to assess where they were and what we need to do to close those gaps. So pre-pandemic, it was a struggle, and it was. And I'll be remiss if I wasn't transparent about that. However, and what we're doing right now and trying to come up with strategies and being consistent and being structured. And one of the things that we did bring on is that communication piece, utilizing our social media outlets, using our website as the hub of information, videos, whatever it is that we need to do to get the communication out to the parents to let them know that we're here to support, but we also need your support too. We need for you to do those health checks before they leave home. If you know someone is sick at home, make sure that you contact us and get the students tested. You get tested, and also understand that it is a process. We want to make sure that learning takes place not only in the school, but when you're at home and if you're asked to be quarantined. So yes, just as my colleague stated, that we do put plans in place. We do make sure that we do follow-up phone calls to do pulse checks to make sure that everyone is okay. So everyone right now is in a state of, and we use this term often, but it's true, of uncertainty. But we try as much as possible, and with our fearless leader, Dr. Herring, and making sure that we're able to pivot at any time by putting those strategies in place.
All right, Dr. Clarkson?
And I guess I'll...
I can honestly say that communication is so key and word of mouth is so key. So thank you for opening up and then also expressing the importance of health checks, importance of getting tested, and letting the parents know and the community know to be patient with us. Because our teachers, and I just want to congratulate all of Washington Cluster teachers and seeing them every day, because they have concern about their health too as well. So when you take note of that and you're coming into a building, students want to learn, teachers want to teach. We're going to create an environment that's conducive, and we want to see our students grow. But first, we have to take care of ourselves first. We can't do anything unless you take care of yourself first. So getting tested, it's okay. Just make sure that they're a priority in getting the students tested. The district has done a great job in providing the opportunity of surveillance testing in our building every week. Our staff gets tested twice a week because we want to make sure that they're safe and our students are safe. In addition to that, just following through with that communication at home. If they're being quarantined, work with your child at home in regards to those assignments. We do understand 17% of our parents are grandparents, so they may not be as familiarized with working with devices, and because of the fact that it's more so dealing with those devices and trying to get instruction. So we're here to be able to support that. But definitely getting that communication out and making sure that they take care of themselves. Get those health checks. Get tested as often as possible, even when you feel as if that you're feeling ill.
Thank you.
All right, everything.